the 1.5 kindergarten, the 78,000.
Right, on page 11, the 53 and the 78 are included on page 10.
So the $587,902 does not include taking out the $94,000 for the transportation savings, correct? And adding in the $113,974 costs for reconfiguration that full-day kindergarten would require. Is that true?
That full-day kindergarten would require.
$113,974 reconfiguration cost?
That was a question I received about what would the cost be for reconfiguration.
Right. In order to have all-day kindergarten.
Right. Yeah, well, that was the.
So the actual cost would not be $587,000. It would be actually $607,000. 607.
If you wanted to reconfigure, then you'd be able to also subtract out, I think there were a couple more teachers that you were able to subtract out. I can do that for you. That was not a question that I was asked to prepare.
I think on page 10, the 587,000 reflects all-day kindergarten in all the schools as the schools are now.
That's current configuration.
So this has nothing to do with reconfiguration.
Okay, so the 113,000 is required to, okay.
Okay. So on page 10 and 11, they are counted twice, but they're not counted twice in the budget.
That's correct. And then, so if you're looking at the all-day kindergarten cost of $587, and then in the January 23 backup information, there was a chart that indicated that it would cost in transportation, moving, et cetera, would be another $113,000, just about $114,000. But there is also a savings by combining staff. And we propose that there could be a savings of 5.5 staff members. However, the board has already cut 3 of those staff members. That was the other cut that the board made. So I would propose that the all-day kindergarten of $587,902, then the moving of $113,974, but then the subtraction of the transportation,
$94,000.
$94,392, and then subtracting of 2.5 staff members additional once everything was reconfigured.
And that estimate would be
69 per, including benefits. $172,500.
It was, Mr. Person.
I thought it was 53 per plus benefit, so
That-
69 includes
69 is included.
salary and
That's
benefits.
assuming it's a family
Yes,
plan.
okay.
It could be less if it's a single plan.
So what do we have? What was it, 172.5?
Yes. I get 434,984. But I would ask, I have a calculator on there.
And that 434,984 represents,
That would represent the addition of 7 kindergarten teachers plus a .2 art teacher, furniture and supplies for 6 classrooms, which would total 15 classrooms. It would include reconfiguration of grades K through 5, the transportation cost moving and modification, and also and then the savings would be midday transportation for $94,000, and the possibility of saving 2.5 teachers across the district.
Okay, 434,984, is that what you
That's
got?
what I have.
Thank you.
Now, at this point in time, we have taken no action towards reconfiguration. It was just purely a conversation the other day.
I thought that was what the 113 was, but it was actually more than was.
Correct. Ms. Fisher?
So if we were to incorporate full-day kindergarten and keep our schools the way they are, you have 587,902. Can we still subtract 94,000 from that for transportation?
Yes.
So our total cost to do full-day kindergarten with our schools as they are now is $493,902.
No, it's a little less than that, it's 434,984.
No, that's, you're talking about reconfiguration, I'm not talking about
No.
reconfiguration.
You've already taken 3 teachers out.
We've already taken the 3 teachers out.
No, this is 2.5 additional.
Hold up,
Oh,
folks.
wait, I'm sorry, I'm confused. I thought I had it.
At the last meeting, one of the first actions was reducing 3 teachers based on just the class movement at a couple of the schools, 3 elementary schools. That was the first action that we took. So those positions are off the table already.
That's class size, right?
That was class size related, correct. So we have to take that from those dollars off the table. Sorry.
38902. Right, 38902, we're going to do full-day kindergarten.
493,510. How did you get down?
Well, if you subtract out the $207,000
For what?
for the teachers, 3 teachers that you reduced,
The 3 teachers were taken off the budget
Yep,
Right.
based on
already.
class
Right.
size. That was the class size
Right.
discussion.
Right.
so the teachers, so to do the kindergarten teachers, it's still $497,000.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
before they said no,
So
so,
that would be if you reconfigured it. The
No.
difference looks like about $60,000.
So we're talking
Right.
about without a reconfiguration, no reconfiguration,
Right.
going back to the original first proposal.
right,
Right, and that is in the budget right now, that $587,000.
right.
So the thing that is not in the budget is the subtraction of $94,392.
Right.
So that would be the difference.
So that brings us to about $493,000 for full-day kindergarten.
Correct.
Okay, that's right.
Which is already in the budget.
Right. I just wanted to get the hours.
Except for the 2.5 teachers. Didn't you just say that?
That would be only through reconfiguration. We would save those.
So, final figure for holiday kindergarten.
493,
510 without reconfiguration.
493,510.
and that's currently in
That's
this
in the
budget.
budget.
We have not taken any action on that number.
So that's just the 587, the 90, minus the 94 transportation, plus the 113 for moving.
No, we don't need to do 113. That's only for reconfiguration.
No, that was moving expenses.
For reconfiguration.
Reconfiguration.
Yeah, if we reconfigured, they'd be moving furniture between buildings.
Okay. Thank you.
So if the board determines all-day K, then we subtract out another $94,000.
The transportation.
Doesn't determines not that, then they take out the 587, but the transportation money stays in there because we obviously would still need it.
Yes.
That's that transportation.
Mrs. Arnold.
So the difference in all-day K with and without reconfiguration is about $60,000.
Correct.
That's all we would save by reconfiguring.
Right.
Okay.
Because we've already cut 3 people. If we hadn't done that,
I understand,
it would
I
look,
understand.
it would look bigger. Right.
When I asked the question, I was hoping it would be a larger amount.
Thank you. Other discussion? Ms. Fisher?
Oh, well, I have some motions that I wanted to make, getting some numbers from Mr. Vaccaro. And I'd like to move that we deduct $167,399 from line item 52172, which is our medical insurance. This represents a 4% decrease in that account. which Mr. Picaro assures me we can do.
I have a motion, Mr. Percy.
I'd like to second that.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion on the motion. Mr. Kemp.
Just a question, and which question that you asked, is it that are numbered here? Is that referring?
This isn't tied to a question. This is something that
I
was
didn't
asked.
see the questions, that's why I'm asking.
It's not a question.
Okay.
I had not, I mean, Mr. Picaro and I just had one conversation.
Thank you.
Can you restate the amount?
The amount was $167,399, roughly 4% decrease in line item 52172. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to call that to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? That's unanimous. Mr. Percy.
The board realized some money this year in something called medical loss ratio that the Finance Committee has discussed in the past. It was money that was reimbursed to us from the insurance company. Percentage was the board's, percentage was our employees. The percentage for the employees was returned to them. Based on my Finance Committee notes, that's around $92,000. That's money in an account at the town, so I'd like to make a motion to reduce the Board of Ed's healthcare costs for the next fiscal year by requesting our medical loss ratio money from the town.
And do you have a line item on that by any chance?
This is in 52172.
Thank you. 52172 is the line item we're talking to. I have a motion.
I'd like to say it's I have $92,126.15.
92,126.
15. If we could verify that with Mr. Picaro.
And I have a second by Ms. Fisher. This 92,126.15 is the number that Mr. Percy had. Mr. Picaro, can we verify that, or is that a good number by you?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that is a good number. That is the exact number of our contribution in that fund. And if I may add additional comments, sir?
Sure.
I think using those funds is an appropriate action, and I think Mr. Percy positioned the motion wisely as far as reduction in healthcare costs for next year. The process, and I throw this out now, would be we're not looking for an appropriation to the board's budget. We're looking for a reduction of costs. So when we have our expenditures for next year, for FY14 actual expenditures, when those bills come in from the insurance company, we'll be paying directly out of that fund that's at the town. So it's not going to increase our board's budget through an appropriation process, which will have to go through a very different process with the town and so on and so forth.
Thank you for that additional. Mr. Percy, you have a question?
So did I do that right?
Correct. I think you did. I think that's what he was saying. He said you hit the number perfect. So. Any other discussion on that motion? Seeing, yes, I have a motion by Mr. Percy and the second was Mrs. Fisher. I'm going to call that motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? And that's unanimous. Mr. Percy.
I'd like to make another motion to reduce our pension account by $10,000 per the information received from Mr. Luke tonight.
So that's a $10,000 reduction to line item 52919 based on the information from Yep, we've got it. 52919. And so I have a motion. Mr. Kemp, is that a second on the motion?
I'll second it. I'd also like a reference to whenever one of these motions is made, it would be helpful if there's a reference to one of the questions that was asked previously, if it was one of them.
Yeah, this was in reference to Mr. Ludick's comments when he was speaking to us this evening.
Right. The
So
numbers sounded familiar, however.
Correct. He spoke to us tonight regarding the pension fund and the workers' compensation, which are new numbers to us tonight. He wants us to add $40,000 for the workers' compensation, and he suggested a $10,000 reduction in this account, just to reiterate what he had previously told us. Any other discussion on that motion? Seeing that I have a motion and a second, I'm going to call the motion to a vote by a show of hands. All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thank you.